the generation that is coming is becoming more of an indoor generation. I can specifically tell that the kids that are growing right now, raised by the Gen Z parents who doesn't know their feelings or how they should be acting, all they do is just give their phone or increase the screen time to just not to get annoyed by the crying of this baby. And what does it do? It doesn't create any emotional connections which is needed between parents and the kids. And as they grow by it, they get more affected or they get more connection to the screens, and which eventually disconnect themselves from the people. And this is going to be a big problem in the future. You will be a part of the indoor generation where you are disconnected from the people, where you will have no emotional connections. You will be willing to only stand inside your house, looking at your screen, disconnected from the every single human being possible. You don't have the live interaction between people. Nothing. You will become a failure. You are raising yourself to the bottom of the chart. That's what you're doing right now. And there is a problem. There's a major problem that is coming, which is, you can see that everything that is possibly you can think what is outdoor is becoming indoor. You can see football turfs, tennis courts, and everything, every kind of sports that is becoming indoor, and the government and the people, all the things that is trying to side off the world are supporting it. Is they want you to be stay inside these things and raise no emotional connection and have no live interaction with people. And what does that create? It will be easy for them to control you, which in a way you are already a failure and you're becoming weak and weak and weak and weak to letting yourself control by other people, to letting yourself into the cycle and falling into their trap. It's a pathetic way to live. And whereas people like me who make money online and have live connections and live interactions and have good friendship and relationship with family and friends. And on the other side, you are there, living in indoors, connecting with people on the phones, just looking by the screen. You're not sharing real emotions. Even though you're sending emojis of laughing out loud, you might not be laughing out loud. You might just be clicking on that emoji, just laughing, and you might have a face expression of not giving a fuck. Is that you? Is that you that who gives not give a fuck and just taps on the laughing emoji and just scroll all over the reels, just stare at the wall and live a miserable life? Or are you like me, who is getting into a good physical shape and making money online and establishing a good connection with people and maintaining a good relationship with the family, following all the traditional values, to take it down to your generation and possibly raising good kids and maintaining the family connection, which is very important. Maintaining family connections is a very important thing. No matter what, if you're going to give up, giving up family should not even be a choice. You should not do that. You have to give your life to maintain the family. And that's how you should live. That's how I live. And that's how I am on top of everybody around me. Please, I'm not on top of the world, not yet. But soon I will be. Which I have promised myself, I have promised to my future self. And that is the most scariest scene, which makes me work harder than everybody I know. Yes. Every time I feel lazy, at the end, after doing the most shittiest thing, I just think about a big person who comes to me, who is the best version of me, who didn't mourn and cry or skip a workout, or didn't make a content or diet, didn't manage his time, didn't manage his energy, didn't manage his resources, didn't eat well, didn't have a good diet, not in a physical shape, is going to meet somebody who did not give up, who did not skip a day of workout. When they meet together, the person who didn't take all the effort to be in a good shape and be on top of the wall is going to regret by just staying on the circle of the man who did all the effort to stay on the top. And I wish people who follow me, people who hear me, have to be like that, have to have a thought like that. You have to be living in fear in a way that you might not going to be achieving or being on top of the or being in a position where you want to be in life. And that fear will let you work harder and harder and eventually become the member of 1%. That's all you need. And that thought is all you need. And that thought alone is going to take you out of this indoor generation, which is living a pathetic life. Imagine living a whole lifetime without having a good connection or even having a good family or people who you can trust around you. Imagine living a life like that. It's pathetic even thinking about it. If you can think clearly with the God-blessed brain, it's very hard to live a life like that. It's very hard. I can promise you. Because I have procrastinated myself to the most deepest and darkest position in this world. And I've been through the most darkest and weakest position. What I've hit the rock I've hit the rock bottom and I've raised to this level. And if you can take the chart of my life, I was born at a very high level and have hit the rock bottom. And now I'm raising myself and raising the people who depend on me and helping all the people who need me, who genuinely want me to do good. I can alone say that there is no single soul who accepts the work, accepts or appreciates the hard work that I do. There's no single soul. Because I realized that as a man, it is very hard for somebody to appreciate you, even if you are the most hardest working person in the world, until or unless you are doing something good, and at the same time you have to be rich and have some influence for the people who hears you. Of course, I'm the first one, the most dependable person. I'm not rich, okay, fine. I have good money, good amount of money, but I'm not rich. But eventually I'll be. As I've said, I live in fear of meeting the person who's best portion of me. So I promise myself, I'm a man of my word. So I've tried myself to disconnect myself from the people who live in a indoor. And I don't have any problem, I don't carry any beef with people who are introverts. It's okay to be introvert, unless you are dependable and trustworthy. So being dependable is not. So being introvert is not a bad thing, but you have to understand the consequences and the way how the world works. And by consequences, I mean everything has a consequence. As I've said in the previous episodes, there is something called a second order consequence. Whatever you choose, even if it's a good, the most best thing or the most worst thing, it have the second order consequences. Even if you're choosing to be good, you have to disconnect from people or do some bad things to be good. Even if you're bad, you have to do some good things to stay bad or maintain your mental health. That's it. So now you have understood that how an indoor generation is so pathetic and disgraceful to the God's decision of how a human should be lived. The indoor generation specifically, I mean the kids which are raised by the Gen Z parents. Because I believe as a kid, as a small kid, as a baby, you are only taught how to obey your parents or the elders around you. And all you know is respect them, obey them, because you believe that they do the best for you. And all you get is, when you cry around, you get a phone, a screen to stare on, to distract yourself and forget that you're crying. Chocolate is okay, but not always. It can ruin your teeth and can raise a addiction to sugar. What's the best thing? Teach how hard is the world. Even if you're crying, it's okay to deal with this problem in a way to give you a phone or give some chocolates. It's okay, but not always. That's what the Gen Z parents do. They do these things every time the kids open their mouth to cry. All they do is escape from the problem of their kid crying, and they don't realize the value of having the most beautiful thing that born from them. Every time I see people do that, I genuinely get sad about that kid. It's the way he's going to be raised in an environment like that. It's hard. Because at the time when the kid realizes the world is cruel and, it is a pretty bad place to live right now. And as soon as you realize that, you have to act accordingly, which in a way will get you out of the world. And that's what God want you to be on top of the world. Be His best favorite. And all you have to do is stay out. Until I see you next time. Stay out.